Hi, this is Denise Estrada, and you're watching True School Sports.
All right, thank
Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I just got done watching that the Thursday night Golden Boy card on the Zone. It was a card that really, unless you're really following boxing, you probably wouldn't know about. But women's boxing card, you know, I tuned in because I was curious about a fighter that I've heard about for a long time. A fighter that I've seen on social media quite a few times. A fighter whose name has been linked to one of my favorite fighters, Sinisa Estrada, for a long time. And that fighter is none other than Costa Rica's very own Yokosta Valle. You know, and this is a big fight in this, you know, minimum weight strawweight division, the 105-pound division. You know, you had Yokosta Valle, who is the IBF champion, taking on Thi Thu Nhi Nguyen from Vietnam, the only recognized Vietnamese champion in boxing right now, who was like 5-0 with one knockout. So not a lot of fights, but she did beat a legitimate opponent for the belt in the very crafty and experienced Estuco Tada. And she went to South Korea. She went on the road like a straight G and took the title from Estuco Tada. So in doing that, she became WBO champion, and they made this unification fight in Costa Rica. So I tuned in, not really having any expectations. I wanted to more so see what Yokosta Valle was like because I've heard a lot of hype around her. I've seen her on Instagram a ton of times. She's a very attractive woman. You know, she's flying the flag high for Costa Rican boxing. She's like the Anthony Joshua of Costa Rican boxing, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to see how good she was and if she would win the fight. And she won the fight. You know, she won by unanimous decision. And she pretty much won most of the rounds. And I gotta say, Yokosta Valle is much better than I thought she would be. You know, I didn't think she'd have as much skill as she had. You know, the way I would classify her style from what I saw in this fight with Thi Thu Nhi Nguyen is that, you know, she's a pressure fighter, but she's an intelligent pressure fighter. You know, one thing I liked about Yokosta Valle's fight, you know, just her style and her fight game was that she wouldn't just throw punches down the middle. You know, sometimes she would come down low. Sometimes she would come around the guard. Sometimes she would come through the middle. But she was always mixing it up, and she was always mixing it up with volume. And I think those two things sometimes have been a bit of a lost art from pressure fighters, because sometimes pressure fighters can throw a lot of punches, but they're repetitious, high volume punches around just up the middle. She had the high volume punches with the IQ to get her on the guard and just mix things up, change the eye level of her opponent. She showed herself to be very physically strong. She showed herself to be very well conditioned. She went the full 10 rounds without really breaking a sweat. And I also like the fact that, you know, she throws a lot of straight, sharp punches. You're never going to accuse Yokosta Valle of being a big-time puncher, but she's definitely going to get your respect, and she's going to really throw straight punches with high volume and high intelligence. And these are the things that really stood out when I was watching her, right? So now, Yokosta Valle is now the unified WBO and IBF minimum weight champion. And why is this significant? This is significant because this is a fighter that Sinisa Estrada on social media has accused of ducking her, of avoiding fights with her. Sinisa Estrada has not just accused her, but other champions from 105 to 108, such as Yesenia Gomez and people like that, of not wanting to fight her, right? So now that Yokosta Valle is the unified champion in this division, you know, this could potentially be a fight that could be revisited. And now I know it is also worth noting too, you know, Sinisa is no longer a Golden Boy fighter. Yokosta Valle was kind of signed to replace Sinisa because, like, she came in, she got signed pretty much when Sinisa was on her way out. And her last fight against the very game and very respectable Lorian Villalobos, that was literally like in the middle when Sinisa was going through all the turmoil with Oscar and they weren't really seeing eye to eye. You know, so she was being phased out even back then. But we'll talk about this more later on, but I would really like that fight. I would like that fight. I saw some things in Yokosta Valle's style that I think could trouble Sinisa Estrada. And I'll save that for another video. But all in all, really, I'm going to say I'm impressed. I was impressed. I was actually impressed with the expectation I had for Yokosta Valle. I was actually impressed. Now, her opponent Nguyen from Vietnam, all respect to her. She has her own journey as a fighter. I respect her. I respect all fighters. But, you know, as the fight went on, you could tell that she didn't have the craft, she didn't have the smarts or the punching power to really deal with Yokosta Valle, and that class started to show over time. So I would like to see her, Yokosta get in there with a better opponent. You know, Sinisa isn't the only option. You also got the WBC champion, Tina Rumpert. I can't even say her last name, but the WBC champion Tina. All right, I don't know a lot about her. I'm not Ring IQ. I'm not these other like channels that are like experts on women's boxing. I mean, I have a general knowledge on what goes on. I'm not too familiar with Tina, but I just know that she's the WBC champion. And look, you know, she's what, 11-0, 3 knockouts. Let me see. Do I know anybody on her resume? I don't really know it. Oh shit. Okay, she actually she beat Yokosta in Germany back in 2018. So maybe that's a rematch that I'm sure Yokosta would want to visit. I have to go watch that fight to have an opinion on it, but I could see that being a unification fight. So there's reason to make that unification fight, and if Yokosta can win that unification fight, then I think it would be just a layup, slam dunk possibility of her fighting Sinisa Estrada for all the marbles, you know, because apparently, according to her, and I would have to look this up myself, but nobody's ever had the Ring Magazine belt in women's boxing at this division, and also I don't believe anybody's been undisputed. So I really think with the way everything is setting up with her having that Golden Boy backing, with her development as a fighter, because now she's not training in Costa Rica no more. She's moved her camps to Southern California, and she's training with Gloria Alvarado, who is most notably worked with Carlos Balderas. She's working with her now. They seem to have struck a good partnership and chemistry. So now I'm looking at maybe her fighting the WBC champion Tina, and if she can get past Tina, which is not going to be a gimme because she's already lost to Tina. But you know, I gotta watch the fight. Maybe she got robbed. The scores are close, and they did fight in Tina's home country. So, any women's boxing experts out there, let me know what happened in that fight. But if she can get past that, if she can make that fight happen and then get past that fight, I really don't see a reason why we can't get Sinisa Estrada versus her for undisputed. And I'm gonna do a video in a couple days about, you know, what I think about that matchup in particular, and some things that I saw that I think could give Steve some problems. But overall, I gotta say, man, Yokosta Valle really looks the part as a top creme de la creme, top shelf fighter in this weight class. And I want to see her in there with other champions. And if they can't make her with the other champions, you know, what's her name? Annabelle Ortiz is a Golden Boy fighter. That's an easy in-house fight to make. So there's definitely options for her. But yeah, that's my little take on the Yokosta Valle Thi Thu Nhi Nguyen fight, unification fight down there in Costa Rica. Yokosta Valle is a superstar over there. You know, apparently they got billboards over there for her, so she's doing her thing. Really, really smart pressure fighter. Knows how to, you know, throw volume punches in an intelligent manner that's unpredictable for the opponents. And I think that's, like, to me, from what I saw, one of her best qualities. We'll get into the matchup with her and Sinisa Estrada later on. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. What did you make of the performance if you watched it? And how do you see Yokosta Valle against other champions in the division, such as Sinisa Estrada and the WBC champion Tina, you know, who she lost to already. So yeah, leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia, and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God.